and in-depth personality interviews. The Recap. From tackling corruption and social injustice to inspiring positive change and personal growth, The Recap is the ultimate platform for meaningful conversations and solutions. Don't miss the Cordelia Ope Recap every Tuesday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. on
Mainland FM 98.3.
Tune in, engage, and be part of the solution. The Recap. Educate, enlighten, inspire.
A very good morning to you. It's a pleasure to be here because life is for the living and we are living. We are grateful to God for giving us another day because without him, who we be? Nothing. So I say welcome. I'm Cordelia Ope, but you call me Lady C. But Sha, when I check, you won't give me, Sina Cordelia Ope, you're right there, be. If not, they'll go bounce me for bank. I hope your day is going well. Today is a Wednesday, so I'm very sure he's still bearing Joseph Folorunsho today. Abi?
Okay, my name is Joseph Folorunsho. A day after Aswani Day, it's still Joseph Folorunsho. Who won't bounce you back, ladies? Nobody
no, you cannot put, what is that they call her? Lady C for them. They go say, we don't know you.
Because they check. They say they use check.
They say they use check, but one or two things want to change, and some banks are already sending out messages, go and do this, go and do that, and I think you should respond. If your bank sends you a message concerning checks, you should do what you need to do so that you do not get into trouble. All right, and we hear that over 109 embassies are really groaning. I'm talking about their workers because for about 6 months they've not received their salaries. That's what the story is telling us this morning. And over 450 foreign service officers in 109 Nigerian missions abroad have yet to receive their salaries for the past 5 to 6 months. And I'm asking, what is the meaning of that? Officials serving under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs are now in financial stress. Again, I'm asking, what is the meaning of that? Do you know how hard it is to be broke abroad? Especially the abroad that you cannot borrow money from anybody. As
they say, they know they wait for immediately your house, your rent will expire. Before you shake your body, they jump pack the loan, go found up, and your loan still go with rent for the place.
And they're saying that the recent passage of the 2025 Appropriation Act by the National Assembly, they are strongly believing that the bill will be signed into law soonest by Mr. President, and this will impact on them, that is the ministry, positively. And guess what? The ministry has spent about 251.71 billion naira on salaries in 4 years.
Now, wow. But can they protest in all those countries? Can they protest?
NLC will go and help them. NLC will go on. But NLC is busy right now with telcos. Yes, asking telcos, private businesses to drop their rates. If not, they will shut them down from March 1. I hope you know that is what the story is now. They're saying, nope, this thing must happen and we must protest. Okay.
But if those people if the telco shut down and the NLC could not, their network, they can coordinate the striking.
You know, concern them, they will do like Tarzan, stand on top of a tree and go and they will tell their members that means all of them are ready. It's like beat everybody. It's like beat them. Since instead of them also be fighting electricity tariffs, the hike, and another one is coming. Since we decided to be quiet about that, and businesses are folding up, some people are spending 20 or so K in a day. Heat won't kill us. Fear not, they let you on AC. NLC not see that one. During their last protest, all they did was they accepted that salary and kept quiet. Now everything is going into transportation and electricity tariffs. You now want to go to telcos and tell them reduce your call rate, my friend. That's why we keep telling people, thank God for radio stations. Radio stations would have helped people by now to know how to say everything in 1 minute. Abi, you say do summary. That's why they taught summary in schools. Forget how your mama. Okay, let's do the how we used to make phone calls, Joe. Oh yeah, you make I call Joe. Okay. This is how we used to make do phone calls. Green, 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 green. Oh yeah, pick now.
I don't pick now.
Yeah, you not go talk. Hello. Joe, my guy. How are you?
I am fine.
Your mama, uncle.
Mama is fine. No.
Did you go to work yesterday? How program yesterday?
Program yesterday. When I was going to work, as I leave house, and there was one vehicle did not park very well. So immediately we entered the express.
Which kind of clothes the person wear?
The man, he was just on a knicker, and then the vehicle was actually red.
Meanwhile, you see the Obasa fight now. That fight tough.
No, not a small one. As the Obasa were fighting, some people were selling akara. The woman that was selling akara, they were not dragging for change.
And I hear that the Obasa family in Lagos, the royal family, they're saying that no, he's not connected to us. Now they know to they talk.
You know, sometimes. There's another family that's saying that actually very close to the other one that says not connected to them. That family say they connected to them. So,
and it's from Ogun State. And they now made Miranda cry. I did not like that thing at all. It pained me when I saw her, but I'm sure she was crying out of happiness after she got the vote of confidence from 36 members out of 40. Correct, babe? Mona not let Miranda cry again.
This is the first time that with the gay woman speaker for Lagos. Make the alarm now, not be Make the alarm now 2027.
Women's rights, women's power.
Rights. Okay,
Luther continue, Victoria no go suffer. Anyway, the reason I called this, I bet if you come today by 2.
I will check. The man that used to help me on my dry cleaning, he says he went to Abeokuta, but when he come and he bring the cloth, I just call him now. He say he will still go and take a shower.
Okay.
When he come,
okay, all right.
That is if there's no traffic.
Okay, thank you.
At that Meron site.
Okay, greet everybody for me.
I remember, remind you that orange in the back of our. It get orange.
It still get. Don't forget to try come by 2 here. Okay, see you. Bye. Now, so would they make phone calls? What was the essence of that call? Let's do it now in the days of tariff increments. Because it is green Joe, pico. I mean, wait, not be that make me call. How you doing now?
I did fine.
Everything well. I mean, if you come by 2.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, I'll see you then. Bye.
Right.
Because you see, all that long stuff that we're talking, all I wanted to tell him was come by 2. So these people want to teach us not to talk too much as Nigerians. Oh, Jerry. But by style, we have our lovely guest in the house. Oh, you should see her. She's beautiful and she is smart. Yes. Because people who they wear glasses, they get sense, that they know book. That's why it pains me a lot when I see person wear glasses, they drive anyhow. And that's supposed to you wear glasses, see how you are driving. All right, she was the port manager for the Nigerian ports here in Lagos, NPA, and her tenure or her time to step aside, reached, having served the requisite years. Her type would never add to their age or reduce their age so that they will stay forever. She did what she had to do and she stepped aside. And ever since then, she's been going about mentoring and talking about things that should be done properly in the ports and in the maritime sector generally. I'm talking about the former ports manager of the NPA here in Lagos, Funmi Layo Olotu. Woohoo! Woo! Give it up, give it up. Woo!
Good morning. Good to be here.
Good to have you. Let's start from the very beginning. The very first question I asked you when I saw you, I'm going to ask it live now because I was checking everything. You keep having these lovely hats on. I'm like, why you did like to wear a cap now? In your former life, were you a cowgirl?
Oh my goodness. All right. The history of the cap. I had a father who believed in the girl child and against all odds sent me to school, taught me to be bold, to always speak my mind, never to be intimidated despite my stature. And in memory of late Chief Justice Oludotun Olaogun, I've chosen to make the hat part of my dressing. And also,
He loved hats?
Yes, my father loved hats.
And when you say stature, you ekpengele till now, you're not great fat.
He told me I had an ungrateful body. The man could throw jabs.
Ungrateful body is
Yes.
not appreciating everything you are giving
I
to
was in
it.
school, they said I was reading. When she marries, I married. Or when she starts having children, I've got 4 kids. And after that, the man was just like, okay, what else are we going to say? She just has an ungrateful body. So let her be. But my siblings are not like me. They are quite,
Oh.
Yes.
Well, people are proud of this type of shape. Now, people are going for lipos to get this
And after that, I'm
figure.
going to start a gym and use myself as the demo.
Without
And they
doing
wouldn't know-
gym, you know.
Yes. I'll be 60 in November. So I'll
Look
just
at
put
that.
my pictures there and say, you want to be 60 and still, and they wouldn't know my
You go
design.
sell. You
And
go
you're going to be my
sell.
first client.
Wait till happen, not fat like that now. Wait
Yeah,
till
you're
happen.
not too far, but you need to be like me, small. You get what I'm saying?
I'll just
I'll just take this book, go shape and to
don't say my
myself.
body I dey ungrateful, my body
No,
dey
no, you
ungrateful.
good, you good.
It's a pleasure to have you join
My
us
pleasure
on
to
the
be
on the
here.
program today, and we're looking forward to having more time with you on the show because you're quite eloquent when it comes to the things that concern the maritime sector. You were there for some years, and there was one article I saw when you said you faced a lot of intimidation while you were still there. Share with us, was it because you were female working in a male-dominated area, or what happened?
2 things. The first one you've mentioned, being a female in a male-dominated environment. That was challenging. Some people couldn't take it. The second one, I'll reference what you said about having to leave a place because of your own core values.
Yeah.
And you want to do things the proper way, and people are putting parochial interests over and above professionalism and patriotism. And I couldn't stand that. So I had to find my voice and speak out where I had to. And of course, that came with knocks, not one, not two. But here we are. We survived. And now we can talk without any inhibition.
And now we can really look at the ports and the way you believe they should be running. What were some of the things you noticed while you were working at the Nigerian ports authorities? Some of the things that you think they could work on to change now, and probably you were able to change some while you were there. Could you share some with us?
The issue of bureaucracy will continue to be a recurring decimal in any government organization. I've been port manager in Calabar before I was brought to Lagos by then MD Adizabala Usman based on performance and competence. Now, getting to Lagos Port Complex, Apapa, the first baptism I had, the old building, I just couldn't stand it because it is a government building.
You know that dark, dank
So the
look.
first thing I said was, we're going to paint. I don't like coming into a work environment and things I'm seeing around me are not giving me the right vibes. And I said I wanted to use white. And they're like, is she okay? White in a pot setting. If it gets dirty, we touch it up. That's one. What face, what image are we giving to the people we are serving? The other side of it, someone wrote a letter to the office of the port manager. And I responded. And this man now replied to me, in my 16 years of doing business in Apapa, I've never gotten a response to any correspondence. And that threw me off balance.
Wow.
That what the hell, pardon my choice of words.
Your French.
What have you guys been doing here? So and I made it a point of duty that all incoming correspondences must first get into my office, because that is where you have the problems. It gets to the correspondence desk. The person there decides the one the boss should see, the one the boss should not see. From that desk, it gets to the secretary. The secretary also looks at it and determines the ones the boss should see, the ones the boss should not see. So at the end of the day, you are sitting there and they are actually giving you your job schedule, determining what you should do and what you should not do. So I told them upfront, all documents to my office. When it gets to my register, yes, and send to me. I made my email available. I made my numbers available. So if you've sent a document, you do not get a response from us, max 2 weeks, please send me a reminder. And that reminder, forward it to my email. So that could help me check if they were still keeping documents. And of course, we had all these tag documents. When did it come? Input the time. Who did I mail it to? So the bureaucracy was a major problem. And for me, if that can be removed, go by the road of automation, go by the road of digitalization. People could do that. I had a machine that if you bring any documents to my office, all you need to do is just pass the document. The machine stamps. Nobody is going to use hand to write and say its watch was not working. So that was why it thought, it was 3:30, but the document was actually submitted 8 a.m. Pass it through the machine. It gives you the date. It gives you, but that also came with some challenges along the line. People play with power, so I had to make sure at least my office was.
Yeah, people play with power, so
that they will tell you that the machine was not working.
Lights no day.
No,
power finished.
No power.
No power.
And at some point, I think they attempted to reset the machine. It didn't work, and they now said the machine was faulty. So I called the vendor. How come? And he said, no, there's nothing wrong with the machine. Somebody just tampered with it. So those, these are, I don't want to call it a Nigerian factor. For me, you are you and I am me. So whatever you bring to the office, it's a reflection of your person. Don't say Nigeria happened to you.
Let me say something. You see that Nigerian factor. Let me agree a bit with it, because these same people, when they step out of Nigeria,
they behave.
They will never try that kind of a thing. So the Nigerian factor in that will now be the kind of environment we've created for ourselves here in the country.
True.
And people are running and living within that environment is making them behave the way normal people should not behave. So these small things that you did, small but mighty things, did they help in any way with the day-to-day activities at the port?
They did. Prior to my getting to the port, we had issues of crisis on the road. So when my posting came out,
that is that traffic.
Yes, traffic. When my posting came out, the first thing I did before they could put a face to the name, I lodged myself in an hotel. I can talk. I can say this much now. I lodged myself in an hotel in Apapa. My frame helped me. Nobody would notice me. So I walked out in the night, taking pictures, videos, making records. And I think I was able to do that for 2 or 3 days before my resumption in the office. So when I resumed and I called a meeting at about 26 HODs under me, covering engineering, medical, not talking of the corporations now. You know what? A new sheriff.
Yeah, you get the caps for sheriff.
In town.
Yeah.
These are my policies. I want each document to speak for itself. I don't want people accompanying documents to my office. Don't try to come and influence me. Anything you want to say, anything you want to write, anything you need, just put it on that document and push it in. I assure you it will be attended to. And I made it a point of duty. Nothing slips on my desk unless I've gone for a meeting. And when I come back, sometimes I work late hours so that I could clear the backlog. And they were there, and I'm like, oh, really? So the next thing I just said, we're going to be having some meetings every Monday. Everybody come to the desk, from operations, from security. When they came with their traffic report, I was listening. So when they were done, I said, no, that is not correct. This was what happened. No, madam. I said, oh, really? Madam. I said, okay, no problem. So I said, I'm going to share only one picture, but I can tell you where that came from. I've got tons more. And when they saw it, the question would be, who sent it to her? Because nobody would believe it was me that did it by myself. And making my lines open, like I said earlier, now gave the stakeholders the opportunity to reach out
to you.
So if you stop their truck for whatever wrong reason, they call me directly. And I'm asking you what bit? Area B, Warehouse Junction, Mr. Biggs, whatever. And the next thing, I'm calling the HOD, who is the officer deployed to that bit. Let me have the name, let me have the personal number, and in the next 10 minutes, I want to see that person in my office.
Are these things still being in use now? Let me use that word.
I wouldn't know. I've had 2 people after me, and one of the things I love doing, yes, you can provide support and backup for those who are succeeding you, but you're not running their show.
No.
You're not running their show. I gave my handover note to the person that took over from me. It's up to you to do whatever. But I learnt the operational meeting, and that for that one, I'm eternally grateful. It's still ongoing. Every Monday, the post-mortem, because it gives you an idea. And you're putting those HODs on the spot. And you don't send your subordinates to me, except you have a genuine reason not to be
at the meeting.
Okay, but is there any time that you feel that you should go back, or where you maybe very discouraging, and where do you have energy to confront? Because people we can be advised, madam, spiritual fight deal, physical fight deal, and so how do you navigate through all those?
I'll share an emotional thing. The bomb blast that happened, my firstborn got missing.
Cantonment?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
She was going to be 10 years. We didn't find her. And for 2 weeks, going to mortuaries, going to places, trying to see, because missing is different from dead, you know. So after 2 weeks, I came back.
Worse because no closure.
Yes, quite traumatic. After 2 weeks, I came back to the office, and a client came to the office and said, when we will tell you to allow some things to go, and you will not listen, sure you don't see now. Sincerely, at that point, I'm like, is it worth it? But getting back home, you know, I referenced my father earlier, then he was still alive, and I told him, and he said, if I've raised you the way I've raised you, you don't run from fights. The only thing he told me was that anything out there, fight. But when they abuse your father, don't fight them. Come and tell me. Then I'll go and fight that person that abused me. He told me not to fight his fight. And it was also of maritime. About the time he died, that was when I got this, you know, elevation.
But hold on, did you find your kid?
No.
Till today?
Till today. Call me crazy, I'm hopeful. One day I'm going to see a beautiful young lady with her children in tow saying, Mama, here I am. That is our position. And I tell people, you don't address me by my second born's name. You still address me by her name. I am Mommy Rolake, proudly so. And when we are still praying, we still pray for her as if she's there. I keep funds aside for her, the way I do for my other kids. For us, in fact, she plays a major role in the family in ways that all of us know. There are some things we do in the family. That is our code. And we are good. We are happy. God saw us through that. And here we are today. I have a daughter-in-law who reminds me of her. I have a granddaughter who has taken her complexion. So God has been good. Pardon me, I'm a Christian by faith. And I have no apologies about that.
It's fine. Wow. It's life, right? So many things happen, and sometimes you're like, why me? But you still have to move on. Now, we'll continue with this talk with the NPA. For a long while, they kept talking about the single window. The single window. I know a lot of people hear about it and have heard about it. They may not even understand what that single window they've been talking about in the maritime was all about. You experienced it. Can you share with us that idea of the single window and if it is working at all?
Let me say they are trying to revive it. Let's be honest with ourselves. We've had the Asikuda Plus from customs. What is the concept of single window? All we are just saying is a unified automated platform where everything that Lady C needs to know about bringing a pencil from wherever into Nigeria or taking palm oil out of Nigeria to wherever, all our questions, all the cost implications, no bureaucracy, on a unified platform, bringing all the agencies together, you can get it.
Without talking to anybody.
Without having to go to MPA today, you go to Shippers Council tomorrow, you go to NIMASA day after, you go to NIWA, you go to Council for Regulation of Freight Forwarders, you go to Nigerian Customs, you go to Nigerian Immigrations, you go to...
Hold on, you mean somebody importing or exporting or whatever will have to pass
something
through
would take
all
you
these
something
processes.
would take you to most of these agencies that I've mentioned. Something would take you to all of them because of just one consignment or as many consignments as you want to bring in.
So the single window, it simply means once you open this window, click,
Everybody
you see
must
everybody
be
there. You just answer
And
everybody.
so what do I need to do for me to bring in a pencil into Nigeria? It is there. How much am I to pay the Nigerian Customs? You have it there. How much am I paying the Nigerian Ports Authority? You have it there. Not
And
that
you can make all those payments via that port.
automation across levels, not just about the items you are bringing in. Automation that when the item gets into Nigeria, the scanners are working and I'm not my cargo is not subjected to 100% physical examination. Automation that the moment the bill is raised or issued or whatever, a notice is sent to the bank, and I get to the bank with whatever code they've generated to me, and I'm paying for that thing, and that thing also reflects at the other end that, oh, Lady C has made payment. This cargo is hers. Okay, my truck is coming. I don't need to go to the top of the bridge and say, uncle, I beg, I need truck now. I won't carry this thing. Automation to the extent that the truckers too have a platform where I can just say, okay, this is the specification of cargo I want to pick, this is the specification of truck I need, and there is a link. I think I don't want to do any advert for anybody. In one of the terminals in Apapa, they are up and doing.
So I think for things like this that would want to cut off too much human interferences
God
and
bless
all
you,
that,
that's the word.
human beings would interfere with the system and practically kill it, because you said now that they're trying to revive it. That means that the human factor put a clog in the wheel of this thing, because what made it in quote dead?
You know, it's been like an aged person that everybody is expecting to die. So when mama sleeps and she doesn't wake up on time,
She don't die.
everybody takes it that she don't die. And no, don't even shake her leg. And maybe they start getting everything ready, and at the point of burying, she sneezes and she comes back alive. And for me, that is the story of the national single window. Whether people like it or not, it's coming to stay. It's not going to die. And I'm particularly happy that this last initiative was driven by number one man in the country with number one in the ministry. Now we have a ministry for
blue economy.
Yes, marine and blue economy, unlike when we were lumped with the Ministry of Transportation. And one thing Mr. President said that I held on to was I was going to hold people accountable. And I'm not singing her praises because she's female or whatever. When you ask Hadiza Bala Usman to check people whether they are performing or not, be sure that she's going to do it. She put us on an honor that happened to me. We've had port managers that were willing to work but didn't get the requisite support from the top.
From the top.
So I believe it's going to work. And you said something when you were giving
our phone call.
Your phone call. Media outlets, if properly understood, are avenues for people to check themselves. From that drama that played out, you've told me something. Even if I'm calling my mom jokingly, mommy etete soro. Text is now 6 naira per SMS. So you know, we know it's in our
DNA
to greet, find out how people are doing, don't be too harsh. But then we've got to learn that money means a lot, and money is not to be wasted. That's the difference between our people that are here, and when they get, you can open the tap here and leave it running. You don't care. You're leaving the house, all your bulbs are on. There's nobody there. Because we feel then the tariffs were low. But now that Band A is Band A people, nobody is telling us.
Oh God.
When you are going out, you are now, some people are putting off their freezers until when they come back at night.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So I believe
we can make it work. No. Ouch. Is it the left? When you were talking, you referred to trucks, and it took me straight on to the intermodal system.
Yes.
How come Nigeria is not really doing that? Because I don't think we are. If we were, we wouldn't be having so many fuel tankers on the road, so many containerized things on the road, containers struggling with people, because the intermodal system is supposed to take care of some of these things we're saying. But I'm sure there's somebody out there who would like to understand what the intermodal system is all about, especially in the maritime, and why we're not, really utilizing it.
Okay. For cargo evacuation from the port, what everybody is used to is the ships come in and they discharge their content and they leave. Sometimes they load. But when the cargo has been dropped, the consignment, your goods, how do you get it out of the port to your desired destination? There are 3 ways you can do that. You can do it by road, the trucks. You can do it by water, using barges. You can do it by rail, using cargo trains. You can actually also do it by pipes in the seabed. Meaning, from the vessel, some of these goods, the boxes, the consignments can be dropped right into train wagons, and the trains will move from the port the way the trucks are moving. Now, the track of a train is not the same thing with that of the road. Trail, except at maybe major intersections or cross sections, laws, all these options I've mentioned, by road, by water, by rail, by pipes. But what we are doing here, we are or any of our bridges, and the box will drop. Or we have a good coastal line. We have enough water space that we can use barges to move our goods from the port to the desired locations. For now, the attention is still on road, but I know to revive the
intermodal,
the race, a part of me is let me say excited, but in parenthesis, with the new managing director they've appointed for Nigerian Railways, Commissioner of Transport in Lagos State. That was when this Traffic FM came up, and they were able to do so many things. So I'm hopeful. Let me put it that way. I'm hopeful that it will bring his wealth of experience to the Nigerian Railway Corporation, and it will not just be locomotive movement anymore. Let's see the right.
You see barges on water going from here to there. You were in Calabar before you came to Lagos, and it makes one wonder, what happened to all the other ports?
Okay.
Are they not excited about at least decongesting a place like Lagos, all the concentration on Lagos? We're supposed to have ports. We have a river where ship on Lagos.
Good. There are certain factors we must put into Lekki Deep Sea Port. And a port, the channel of a port is as deep as the shallowest point. So even if you have points where you have 16 meters, you have 15 meters draft, for me to get to that point of 16 meters, if there are 5 meters, 4 meters, bigger vessels cannot come. I'll use Calabar as a reference point. Calabar's channel is the longest of all the ports in Nigeria. Apart from that, it comes with a lot of twists. But while I was there, I had a visit from a company from Greece, and the man came reluctantly. They told him there was a new person. He came, and when we got discussing, he was like, oh, his late chairman said Calabar was the first place he sent a vessel to. So he had an attachment. And the man told them that even in death, they should still continue to do business with Calabar. He said, madam, the last time I came here, and that should be like, I can't remember how many port managers before me. It wasn't my immediate successor or the next one. I can't remember. But the person, as he was talking to him about the potentials, what they can do to bring vessels there, he said the man was, I'm using his words, the idiot was using me to watch television, and occasionally would turn back to me and say, what were you saying?
Look at that.
So when I came on board, one of my mentees, the time I discussed with my husband, our saw me. You give us the assurance, because there are we had a big ceremony, the Obong of Calabar, stakeholders, because it was like reviving, and it was on till I left. And they also offered to train 8 of our pilots free of charge under my watch.
Nice.
When I got to Apapa, I told them I'm in Apapa, and they wanted to do the same thing. They didn't get the same thing they got under me in Calabar, so they came back to Lagos and gave me the same offer of train. Now they trained about 16 pilots, and I went to management. This is what they're planning to do. I'm in Lagos. I also want to turn Lagos around. So they gave me some vessels that I needed. It is the duty of an average port manager to look at your terrain and ask yourself, what can I do better? What can I bring to the table?
Is the government interested in that, even because with the marine and blue economy, a lot of nations are utilizing that, and they are making a lot of money. The potential is great.
Yeah.
Nigeria, for her national development and all that will play a huge role. Is the government interested, or are they just focusing on only Lagos?
I want to believe they're not just focusing on Lagos, because they dredged the WဃΣᴏ channel. That's for Delta ports. It was dredged, and they have a deeper draft now. That of Calabar, I won't call it political issues, I wouldn't know. There were some issues with the company to dredge, and it was put on hold. So we came up with this issue of the flat bottom vessel as Lagos, in terms of volumes, in terms of cargo and what have you. But I need to say this as well, industries. If there is those companies located,
I suspect that a lot of those companies got located in particular regions. You see that such industries will start, So
we are talking about infrastructure being approved, and everybody's hopeful that very soon the funds will be deployed, and the sustainable usage of the ocean's resources for the economy, talking about national growth, for people's jobs, providing jobs and what have you, and thirdly, preserving the ocean's ecosystem. So tourism, maritime is not just about ships and cargo. There are other aspects, and I want to believe that if we have more PPP arrangements outside the port operations into other areas, let there be diversification. Like you've said, I could go to Calabar. In those days, everybody desired to go to Calabar, to go to places where you have the opinion that it's not as crazy as Lagos. You have the Tinapa, but go to those places now.
They're practically dead.
More than dead. Even before I left Calabar. More than dead.
Okay, in the water we have police, marine, we have the master operation, we have navy. Yet the sea parade, crude people that are stealing our crude oil here, they are still doing their business very active. What do you think we can do to actually check some of those illegal activities, unapproved activities in our water?
Okay. The Nigerian Navy has a wider coverage on the waters than any other person. The master will work on charted waters where you have ocean trade ongoing, but for security purposes, anywhere you have water, the Nigerian Navy, they play a role. Now, I know as at the time I left, they had upgraded some of their facility in terms of security. Then I think we've gone to fish eye. We used to crack a joke back then. So many eyes, yet
see for eye, this eye.
What are we saying? But one thing I know is that while I was in Calabar Port, there was this collaboration amongst the government agencies. We have security meetings, even in Apapa. And one thing I do, any operational meeting, security meeting, I chair it in person, except I'm not around. And we have platforms where people could report. And sincerely, let me just disabuse your mind. The case of sea pirates, yes, we have it in the Gulf of Guinea. It has not been very pronounced in our own end. Apart from the one we had about how many years ago that they even broke into the Citadel. The Citadel is where they rush in on board to hide, and they succeeded in getting there. The incidents have reduced. Even those ones that want to smuggle themselves to other countries by locking around the ports when vessels stowaways. IMO gave us a pass mark. Even now, I attended a security summit last year in Cabo Verde. And these were the issues on the table, and they gave us kudos. So in fairness to the Nigerian Navy and these people that you have mentioned, there are constant patrols. The only area I think we need to improve on is for people to stop working in silos and work as a team, so that I do not see myself, well, because I'm from this agency, everything about my work is to my agency. So even if I detect something, rather than share it with you so that we can harness our resources and combat the evil together, I'm struggling to try and do it on my own, so that I'll be the one that will get the credit, and they will take my name to Mr. Oga at the top, and they'll say, yes, it was this agency that did it. Then you now see newspaper adverts, congratulations to the whatever. That is not what we need. One of the things they will tell us about 9/11 till date was this lack of synergy, lack of collaboration, one agency hoarding information from the other. So we need to move out of our silos. I said something at the earlier stage that let's parochial interests be pushed aside, and let patriotism and professionalism
take center stage.
Get it done.
All right. The number to call is 0913-600-0410. We'll take a couple of calls. 0913-600-0410. If you've had the experience at the ports, if you've used the single window when it was very active, you could share with us, and your thoughts on the ports too, you could also share with us. I just hope it comes through early enough, and we'll be playing that. We have as our guest today the erstwhile port manager for NPA here in Lagos, and she has shared her thoughts with us and things we could do differently. Let's go back a bit to that part we're talking about, the ports.
Okay.
The eastern part of Nigeria, a lot of the imports we have, the truth is a lot of it are done by the importation. A lot of it is being done by people from the east.
True.
Don't you think that if their ports, the ports in the east, were focused on and something done quickly about that, that part of the world too would pick up faster than what it is now, and even the traffic we have here would reduce? Or are they afraid of that reduction?
Let me be very frank here. Security plays a major role in port operations.
All these insecurity started even way after all the cries about the ports.
I know, but then you're an importer and you want to bring your goods to Nigeria, and you are talking of, okay, I want to go to Lagos port, I want to go to Calabar port, I want to go to this other port. Between you and I, if you Google all, the one that will be a bit favorable to you will be Lagos.
Don't you think is a thing of neglect of
the
over
other,
many years?
The neglect, I would say, maybe over the years, yes, there were stages of neglect. But over the years too, there were stages of revamping.
Okay. Sorry, somebody is on already. Hello, how are you? Hold on.
Fine. Good morning, madam.
Okay, your voice.
I'm calling from Ogun State. My name is Simon.
Okay, welcome, Simon.
I love the way that woman is analyzing everything.
Her name is Tᴡɪᴛᴛᴇʀ Right.
Yes, I think she has gotten, I work as a security man, ordinary security man at a net port. I wanted her to put more light on that water they normally pump to all the small ships. Where do they take the water, and who is responsible for taking charge in that money that is being pumped? Because I believe I've seen something there that if the federal government look inward into that place, they can generate a lot of revenue because a lot of money. You see, our water is pure.
Okay, hold on. When you're talking about the water, are you talking of the ballast water, or which water are you the water they pump from inside the ship, or which one are you talking about?
Yes, I'm talking about the one they pump inside the ship. Inside the ship doesn't use that salt water.
Yes.
We pump outside water. Yes, we use outside water. Okay. We use outside water to supply to them. And there's so much revenue being generated from that place. I don't know how do they go about that money. I want us to put more light on that area.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for that question.
Okay, there's another person. We'll take this one, then you answer both. Okay. Please, you help me make it short. Your name?
Hello, good morning.
Morning, your name?
My name is Lockley from Yanakbaji.
Very soon I will know your voice. Carry on.
So, madam, I appreciate you. That is, my sister, you really ask one question. Because I come to understand that if all these ships that are coming to Lagos, they pass through Calabar before they come to Lagos. So, for me, is it not because they just want they don't want the southeast to develop? Because I think they are not doing advertisement enough to direct the ship to go to that side. I think the match will explain to that, because I think from you, what I understand is that they just want to bring that side down so that everybody should be coming to Lagos.
Okay.
I think they are not doing enough advertisement enough. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll respond to those two, then we'll take another.
On the water, it's a revenue generating item for the Nigerian Ports Authority, that much I know, and it's part of the bill.
Is it part? Okay, the port itself, not the PPP thing.
No. The port itself, for you to come and supply water to a vessel, to come and supply food, to come and all those ones, they are covered under the MPA's tariff regime. That much I know. On the advert for the Eastern Port, I am left as an assistant general manager. In fact, as at the time I was in Calabar, I made a presentation to my then MD Othman, because we used to have a 30% tariff rebate. If your vessel is going to any of the ports in the Eastern Port, you get 30% reduction. I also made a request for container vessels, not the bigger ones, that could take boxes from midstream operations. Under HATU, it was also approved, and one of the companies leveraged on that. That was about the time I was leaving Calabar. So the adverts are there, but we also need, I will agree with him on the area of sensitization. If the ports are there and importers are not going there, and that was why I earlier referenced security, but I told you here that Onne is thriving. Calabar Port is because of the drafts. Until now, it has not been dredged. So when it is dredged, it will also attract bigger vessels with higher cargo volume. Why Calabar is unique is because Calabar is the port that opens up to most of the eastern states and also part of the northern states. So anything that gets to Calabar from there, you can even still use barges and other whatever. You can have Onitsha dry port like they've been advocating for, and these things can be moved there. If you say the bigger vessels cannot get there, there are operational regimes that you can use to ensure that there is movement of cargo to industries. I referenced industry, and I love what you said. Abamed, they are making something there. That's my position, and they are using raw materials for whatever they are making. So why don't we give them the opportunity to get their
instead
goods
of coming to Lagos or here
and using trucks and so many checkpoints along the road.
All right, one more call and we'll wrap up. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning,
good morning, everybody. Yes,
welcome. Your name?
Yeah, okay is my name.
All right, 30 seconds.
Okay. My sister, I don't know why everything one-sided. People that will always kill Nigeria, nepotism, tribalism, sentiment, marginalization. I don't know. Places like Port Harcourt and also Calabar, they're supposed to work so that we will not dump ourselves here, that the people will be maltreating us anyhow. If you do like the demolish it, if you do like this, the agro and the Omonile will be torturing people.
Finally,
so, please, they should work on that, or even Onisha. They dread that this thing so that this thing will go there.
Okay.
Be suffering here in Lagos.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to have another session as long as you're available. Let's also look at the other ways the private entities can partner. That should be a focus, and how small players too can be a part of it, and also have opportunity for more people to contribute. We'll still look at how these other ports can be, taken care of and revived. But we have to go right now. Thank you very much. Time does fly. We had as our guest, and she's still here, former port manager of the MPA here in Lagos, and she has shared her experiences with us. Thank you so much, and hopefully maybe we can do the part 2 next week. We'll work on it. Not tell me say you they go Greece.
If my granddaughter is not around,
bring her with you. Bring her with you. She'll do backup. Oh, okay. Joseph?
Yeah, I think I seriously learn a lot of things from Madam, and I just pray with all the potential in the maritime sector. I think it can give us take a lot of people out of the street and give them a job. I think let's see what we can do and actually activate all of them. That should be the focus for the part 2 of this session. Your last line?
My last line: lesser interruptions from the government. Put square pegs in square holes, round pegs in round holes, and keep people accountable. Let's drop this parochial interest. Somebody mentioned tribal sentiments. I'm not tribal. Most of the people that worked with me, my PAs, Igbos, Hausas, in fact, I at some point they were like, I wasn't using Yoruba people. That was an accusation.
I doubt very much if he was referring to you, though.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to disabuse his mind that so you're here. Some of us are pure Nigerians. Toss us up 1,000 times. We are landing on that Niger side. No shaking. We there here. We rough it together.
Thank you very much, Fumi Layo Olotu, for your time today, and we've really learned some major things from you, and we'll do it again. I'm Cordelia Obe, aka Lady C. Thank you so much for being a part of the recap today. But before we go, I have to wish my girl a happy birthday. Imagine she's 15 years today. Anita Mokare, 15 years today. Now me being Papa Mama MC when they marry. My presence they're born. Now look at that.
Can you imagine?
She's 15 years today. Anita, enjoy yourself. We'll take a break from everything and enjoy. I'm going to play you this song from your uncle. You'll enjoy it. Dance to it. Feel free. In fact, go to any shopping mall you like, collect everything, and tell them that the bill is on your father.
Oh, yeah, make we party. Make you follow me party. Party in the party.